There have been few pension success stories in recent times to wax lyrical about. Maybe the setting up of the Pension Protection Fund in 2004 to safeguard the pensions of workers whose employers go to the wall, leaving in place a works pension scheme unable to meet its multitude of promises. But that is about it. An ineffective regulator, yes, the Pensions Regulator, meddling governments past and present, and on occasion rapacious employers, Toys R Us, have all conspired to undermine pensions at every twist and turn. So what about auto-enrolment? Success or mere window dressing? Certainly, no one can dispute the fact that since auto-enrolment was introduced in late 2012, some 9 million workers have started saving into a works pension for the first time. Super news, although the meager amounts being saved will do little to ensure those same workers will retire in the future financially comfortable. Far from it. Most will struggle to make ends meet. But it is a bit rich for David Gauke, Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, to turn round as he did this time last week and claim that his government has rebuilt the UK's savings culture as a result of auto-enrolment's introduction. What utter tosh. Nothing could be further from the truth. If he had said those words on April 1st, I would have expected him to have followed them with April Fool. One commentator described his comments as cheeky and premature. Lies would be a fairer assessment. While auto-enrolment has indeed resulted in many workers picking up the savings mantle, this government, and the coalition administration before it, has systematically chipped away at the tax breaks available to pension savers. Cuts to the lifetime allowance, the maximum amount you can save in a pension fund before the government comes back for a slice of the action, have been heartily applied. As have reductions in the tax breaks available to high earners. Yes, more people are now saving into a works pension, but the ability to build a fund sufficient to last a lifetime has been seriously curtailed. Thrift is no longer as valued as it once was. Indeed, Gauke's ability to spin on the issue of pensions, and on auto-enrolment in particular, knows no bounds. He is a better spinner than that annoying, but quite brilliant Aussie off-spinner Nathan Lyon. While waffling on 7 days ago about his beleaguered government rebuilding the long-term savings culture, Gauke also took the opportunity to tell the world about how auto-enrolment is going to be tweaked for the better. Workers between ages 18 and 22, currently excluded, would be brought into the auto-enrolment regime. Even better, the government would enable workers to build bigger pension funds by allowing contributions in future to be based on a bigger slice of earnings. On the surface, two good bits of news which the BBC latched onto with great vigor, as if it was working as the government's very own press office. But, of course, nothing could be further from the truth. While these changes will indeed be forces for good, they are not scheduled to come in until the mid-2020s at the earliest, if at all, given the government's ability to self-combust. This key fact was buried away at the top of page 3 of the 4-page press release. I presume the BBC's researchers did not get that far. Rather than scratch Gauke's back, you could turn round and criticize him for such a pathetic auto-enrolment review, one that singularly failed to come up with any meaningful promises to include the country's 4.8 million self-employed in the process. And, probably even worse, a review that failed to bring workers with several jobs into the auto-enrolment net. As things stand, such workers are excluded if none of their jobs pays more than £10,000 a year, the minimum for someone to be automatically enrolled into a works pension. As for the pension contribution levels required under auto-enrolment, there was not a dicky bird as to what they will be beyond 2019 when they hit 8%. Certainly 8% will not guarantee financial bliss in retirement. It took Steve Webb, former pensions minister, to speak the truth about Gauke's spinning. He accused the government of being shockingly lethargic with the pedestrian pace of reform